that is the moment it all went wrong. Right, Colin here, this is SHAWN Automotive, and the footage from this week is filmed in fits and farts because I've had a stressful time. We went racing at Snetterton for the 12-hour race, went on Friday for the test day, and as you can see, my test session ended very well. But you'll have to watch the video to see the rest of the footage because it's not at the start, it's not in the middle, it's not in the end, it's just snuck in somewhere. Then the race, we got it repaired and the race was going mint. We qualified like right down in the order, 37th, something like that, and Francois just drove lightning. He sent it from the back of the grid to like in the top 10. Swap drivers, I kept the position, got us up into like second. Wayne jumped in for his stint. Now this is about halfway through the race of the 12-hour race, and Wayne was just sending it, minding his own business, keeping track position, and then all of a sudden, clatter, bang, wallop, two cars were having their own little race, decided to take Wayne out, twisting the chassis legs. So we've got to fix the car. Let's have a look, see if we can fix it. The footage is a bit of stages because my head's just been like up my ass this week, but stick with me for this. The Audi TT has to be on the back burner for a bit because we've got to get the car fixed for racing. I probably mentioned it in the video 3 or 4 times, but I appreciate all your support with the channel. Just let's get the race car fixed, and then, like I said before with the Audi TT video, it'll be full steam ahead. I just like, it's just been proper stress. Proper stress. Let's get the car fixed and let's get some good luck, because every time we go racing, we've got a mint car, a set up mint, and something goes wrong, and it's never really any of our fault apart from when I lidded it. But yeah, I don't know what to say. Welcome. Let's just get on with the video. The car's come. It's aerodynamics. That's the only reason why. Just like Sabine did with the Transit at the Nürburgring. Right, I'm going to show you some footage of how it went from looking really nice, like last week's episode, to how it got like this. So enjoy this bit of footage, and then I'll explain to you what the f***ing hell went on. So it's like every time we go to Snetterton, so this is the 3rd year of trying to do the 12-hour race, we end up with a disaster. And I'm looking at the car now, and it is a mess. And yeah, welcome to the channel if you're new. I'm Colin, this is SHAWN Automotive, and today we are on with what the friggin' hell went wrong at Snetterton, and is the car finished? Let's crack on. And we're just gonna chuck it on the wheel alignment, just have a look to see how bad, but the chassis legs and that have moved over that side, all caused through that accident that happened in that footage. So I need to assess the situation to see if it's salvageable, because we haven't got that long till the next race. So yeah, we'll just crack on with that. So yeah, this was the wheel bearing that Wayne managed to hobble it down for the last hour. Absolutely. Listen to that. Do that. So we've got the front bumper off now, and you can see where the chassis legs, both of them, have tweaked that way because of how it's moved there. There isn't any damage there, but what's caused it is that impact there, bang, so that's pushed everything that way.
Can we not just crash it on the other side?
We could crash it on the other side.
No.
If I had my old recovery truck, I'd pull it. What do you reckon, Nate? Did you enjoy the weekend?
No.
No. So yeah, I think probably the best way to tweak that would be to anchor it down on the 4-post ramp, anchor one side, ratchet strap the other, with a porta power as well, pushing on the ramp, and see if we can tweak it the back way without touching the strut, because I think if you tweak it that way, the strut will go back with the movement of it. What?
I'm getting Daniel's wallet and going.
So, in all fairness, it's not looking as bad as it looks from the top side. You can see the arms, all these arms, this green thing, everything there is twisted because it's pulled there, or it's pulled on the drop link there's twisted the drop link, and the same on that side. So where you can see that really prominent. So that's going to chuck it all out. So basically, the chassis leg with that impact, it's moved. So that's where it roughly should be centre with the bonnet. And you see how much that's moved. So if we can just tweak it that way, it's going to save a lot of time and a lot of money at the end of the day, because reshelling this race car is a lot of time and a lot of money. I've ordered a new frame. Doesn't come with the outer cross member though, but we found one of them, so we're going to get one ordered. It's just pushed. So I've measured off another car, and that chassis rail has only gone 20mm that way, but a tiny little crease on the strut top, but the bottom arm frame is bent. So we've just pulling that way a little bit, putting a new arm on the front and putting a new panel on. Once we've straightened it, that'll get the strength back in the front at the end of the day. It's going to be so expensive to take the cage out, redo all the cage mounts. Do you buy another Ford KA and it's got rotten floors? You know how bad they suffer with rot. We've got good roofs. The roofs are easy. That's stuff, panel work. That's what I'm good at doing. It's, you know, it's just going to need a makeover. I have got on the top of the garage over there, I've got quarters with a filler cap siding, but it's quite a level smack. So it might just knock out. But what we're going to do is get it stripped down, try and pull it straight. Yeah, what a great old weekend it's been. So the TT, we've got to put the TT on hold, because this is what I do and this is my passion, is racing a little Ford K. I absolutely love it. I love building the TT. So my loyal subscribers, just stick with me for the next 3 or 4 weeks while we get this repaired, and then we can jump back on with the TT. If I can squeeze a video in time, I will. But obviously, day-to-day stuff, you know, I've got this Nissan Micra that's had a knock here. I've got to get that fixed. So I've got to make money and fund me racing and fun building the TT. But I've got a meeting coming up in 8 weeks, so I need to get this done. So if you want to follow me on the journey, that's wicked. I appreciate it. What have you got for me?
This.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, mate.
It wouldn't take a lot of bending, would it?
Right, so the front panel has just arrived. I'll be able to use this off measurement to work out where to get the chassis legs back that way. Once I've got the chassis legs back pulled off, I'll remove the panel, putting the new panel on, which will put the strength in. Now, the way I'm going to pull the panels is a bit agricultural, but it's for a race car. So I'm not too fussed. You know, it's not like we're trying to jig a road car to put a road car back on. So, but it's only the front. So I just need to get it tweaked that way, just so I can get the wheel as well on the strut top just set up right, because it just looks like we've got too much camber. But since we changed the hub, because the hub broke, picture up above now. So yeah, what I'll do is I'm gonna go do some measurements off some of the scrap ones we've got up the top, strut to strut, leg to leg, diagonal and diagonal. We can just roughly work out where we need to be. Then we can get the engine sat back in its mount, because right now, I don't know if you can see that, the engine's sat like that. The battery's not even on the battery tray because it's sat on top of the ratchet strap. The duct tape's holding the brake servo on because the seal was gone, so that's taped down. And the battery's taped to the servo, and then the battery's taped to the floor, and then it's bodged and it's cable tied. I wasn't letting that 12-hour race get us a DNF. I wanted it done. But just got to remember, this is a race car, so if it's a little bit out here and there, it doesn't really matter. As long as it's track up and the wheels will go in the right direction and the engine will sit right, it can be a 5mm here and a couple of mil here, not a problem. It's still going to look smart because it's me, and you know when I build a race car, they look smart anyway. So right, yeah, I'll just stick it on a time lapse and get on. So we've got these two scrap KAs here. Obviously that roof's no good because I've jumped on it, I think. That roof looks good. We've got bits there. There's no engine in this one. I'm going to squeeze myself through, get in the engine bay and do some measurements from the engine mount to the gearbox mount, which isn't in. Bloody hell. I need to find one of them because they snap on piece, some aluminium mounts. So yeah, I'll take some measurements off that. None of these shells are good for reshelling anyway. And one of the main reasons why we're not reshelling it is because there's so much to do to reshell it and I haven't got the time. And it's money at the end of the day. And with a TT build going on, that's just like milking all my money off me. So it's going to be easier and quicker for me and cheaper because I've got these bits here to repair it. So I've been and took a load of measurements of a KA up the top, one with its engine out and one with its engine in. So I've got a load of measurements there. I'm just going to remove the headlight for now, take the battery off, get rid of the tape out of the way. I need to leave the wing in just for the moment, just when we get this pulled out. But I don't know whether it's a good idea doing a compression test on that engine, make sure it's still all right, and then whipping the engine out, because then I think it'd be easy to get the measurements, pull that leg out. Or do I take the radiator out, leave the engine in at the moment, so I've got rough workings out just to give that initial pull of that leg and that strut top. Yeah, thanks to Autosmart, dropped by to drop me a load of bits off to fix the car with. So wicked. They've sponsored the race team since we started. Bonny old truck that and all. So I've got the battery off, so just so you can see, this is how we finished the race with polystyrene for a battery tray. We swapped that over because that had shattered, absolutely obliterated. I think it's cracked again, but we couldn't get it lined up because if you can look there, the battery tray is like that. It is on an angle, but it should be about 30mm back that way roughly. Because see now, you see that leg's going that way. And now that's headlights off, you can see that's over. But the centre point from there to there, they're exactly the same. So it's just literally gone that way. So we just need to tweak it back. So what I'll do now is I'll drop the coolant out of it, take a brand new radiator out of it, clear some space so we can get around this leg, and let's have a go at yucking and riving it, see if it'll go back, and then work out all the geometry. Do a compression test on it later on, because if it's down on compression, I want the head off for a refresh, because Wayne was saying it was a bit down on power. But it might have been down on power because the wheels weren't allowing it to send on. So we'll see. Sam's doing a timing belt and a injector, and he's loving life, aren't you? Done. Way. He's the man that can. What we're doing now is just removing the plugs. We're going to run a compression test on it. As you can see, that's the gearbox mount additional repair we did to hold the engine in for the rest of the race. So that was a good pit stop repair. Yeah, so we've done the compression test and it's got 5 psi. It hasn't got 5 psi. What we're going to do is we're going to give it a refresh. It is down a little bit on one cylinder. Not enough, but enough to give that 2-3 mile an hour up a straight. Look how sad and twisted she looks. So what we're going to do is strap on now. Strap on, that sounds wrong. Get sorted and we're going to have a go at pulling it off. Pulling it back right. Sounds totally wrong. Hey? No, I don't think you want to be anywhere near it. Right, this is our jig. We supported the tops of the ramp, down the bottom, supported it round the ramp at the back, round the ramp at the front, on the trusty Cavalry, round there. This is some sketchy shit, this like. So, and we're going to have a go at just hooking and tweaking very, very slowly. There's no need to rush, just tweak a little bit. Let it settle, let it spring back, tweak a little bit. So obviously once we've got the legs moved back where we need to be, if we are struggling to get them to move, we'll probably chop off that so it's just on the leg fronts we're moving. Then after that, when we've got the engine out, we'll focus on bringing the strut tower back over, and then to put it all tied in straight, that's why we bought a new section at the front. So stick it on the time lapse and we will crack on.
Time to do some sketchy shit. Do-da, do-da, hope I get away with it. Oh, do-da day.
So we left it like that overnight, giving it a good push. I've just overstretched it again this morning, so now the leg is pointing slightly that way. So we're just going to leave that on, because it's nice and safe where it is. It's on some box some angle, and it's on the flat plate there. So they're over going that way, but when they release, you should go back that way. So what I'm gonna do now is take the scuttle off, get all the scuttle off, and I'm going to have a go taking the screen out myself, because our screen man can't get here till Monday. If I break it, I break it, but I need it off because we've got to get cracked on. Because I know most of you will be dying to see the TT, but got to do this because I've got to go racing. This has got to get done first. So I appreciate y'all watching this, the proper people that support the channel. Thank you. Yeah, let's just stick it on the time lapse and carry on working away. Whose job is it, Sam? It is. Oh, it is your job.
I've got to fix this car that you crashed.
I didn't crash that car as well. I don't know what you're being so horrible for. So you can sort of see here with the issue we had with the roof, but the rest of it goes fine. So I'm just gonna start slowly going around with a Stanley knife, using loads of Stanley blades as I go up, but I can get in from the top, thankfully. Well, not thankfully, because obviously I made a right mess decking it, didn't I? So yeah, just get cracked on, just work around it steady away and try and save it and not break it. So, as you can tell by the time lapse, this is taking forever to do. First, this is the first time I've ever removed a windscreen. Because normally Paul from Windscreens Northern comes down and does it for us. So much, Sam's getting impatient waiting for me, because he's finished the service and the brakes on that motor. So Sam now is jumping on to removing the engine. We've took the porta power off, the pressure now, and the legs have stayed lovely and straight. So this having to fix of this car is getting expensive. My fault, I rolled it. Two nutters that didn't give way in any room, causing the chassis legs to get twisted. So it's an expensive rebuild, so I need your help. See these lovely t-shirts, let's crack on. I need to go buy one of them now for me, or a mug. I'll be well happy, because it's going to help out, because what a rough old weekend I had. So I need your help, please. You what, pal?
My t-shirts are selling, mate.
Your t-shirts are selling? Yeah. Volkswagen. Have you had to sell the t-shirt off your own body, mate?
There's not my jobs, none left.
Oh.
There's only yours left.
This isn't a Not My Job one.
What?
This is Let's Crack On one.
Yeah, there's loads of them left.
We need,
none of mine left.
Everybody
likes it.
They need to buy the Let's Crack On ones, don't they? Woo! I have done it. Should be just lift it out. Ah, let's just have a go gently. Well, I got it out and I didn't break it. Happy days. The Curse of Snetterton. 2019, the wheel breaks and comes off on Wayne's stint. 2020, we fit 3 engines in the whole weekend. Now 2021.
Fucking hell. Fucking hell. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Game over, boys. I'm so sorry. Fuck's sake.
When will we ever get some luck?
slippery slope. It's not enough to please you. Pretty Caroline, oh, 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 stone cold stunner. She was a winner, started working at the dawn.
Oh yeah, look at it.
Very metallic-y, is that?
Yeah, and it's very brassy, isn't it, as well? So the gearbox oil is showing colour of brass and very fine metallic-y dust, so I think something's gone wrong in the gearbox as well. So the gearbox will have to go off, or we'll just have to put another gearbox in it. So well, if I have that one repaired, I'll put another gearbox in. But I think just put another gearbox in will be easy. So yeah, so we'll stick it on a time lapse and try and get the rest of the engine out. So I've come outside hoping that you might see it a bit better. No, maybe not. Let's try just in the dark. Oh, there we go, here we go, here we go. You can see how silver and metallic it is. It's not very hard to tell, I can see, but I'm looking through the camera now. Yeah, look at that there. You see? So yeah, that's the gearbox finish as well now. So yeah, that's the top engine mount out now, and then we're going to undo our race car repair that Nathan did a mint job of getting it back out really. Undo that ratchet strap and then just stand by for action.
Could have put it on all the way around, so I could have got ratchet off.
Oh no, Nathan done a boo-boo.
Yeah,
it might have slipped round, mate, in all fairness.
That's it. P45 for him now.
P45 for Nathan. Job finished. Nice.
Bye-bye strap.
Yeah, bye-bye strap. Unless you can get the screwdriver on the other bit.
Yeah, I've got a screwdriver right here. Okay.
What do you say there, Sam?
I said, cooking hell.
Cooking hell. Cooking in hell. There we go. Strap it off.
Strap it on.
Strap on. That sounds wrong.
That'll come in useful, that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What will that come in useful for?
Next time it falls out.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, myth. Right, that's it, the engine's out. Not in the best of fashion really, because it was done on a 4-post ramp, but that's how it's got to be done sometimes. We don't have an engine stand because there's still a Volvo engine under there waiting for its clutch to get mated into the car. So we've got the engine and gearbox out of the motor now. Sam's just having a look round. And she's got some marks on the flywheel. Oh yeah. Got little dings all over, hasn't it?
Not being in there, no?
Just to make sure now to just come off the bit of the clutch.
Just change the flywheel. Got about 1 million on me.
Yeah.
It's been on your teeth a bit as well.
Yeah, it's got some marks all over, yes. I think there's a flywheel on that block. Sam's going to start tearing the engine down. He's just going to want to have a visual look on the slop in the pistons. I personally don't think it's worth in an endurance vehicle, especially this nature, of re-ringing the rings on the pistons. You don't want new tight pistons on. You want that movement. That's a personal thing of me from past experience. I'll drop this down. I'm going to do some measurements on the inside. I think I've got one final tweak to do. Then I'm going to give it a yuck and start removing that front end panel off, getting that lined up, and maybe get that tacked on today. Because yeah, there probably is loads of footage now, so we are getting cracked on with it. And don't forget, in the community tab after this video, there will be the poll for the 5 best choices of the name for the XR2 that you've all picked out. There's been some wicked funny ones, so thank you for everyone that commented and give us their name. There's only 5 to pick, so go and pick, and the best of the 5, hopefully it doesn't go down to where one's... Does that make sense? I talk shit here. Go and vote for the best 5, and the best one is what we'll name it. So then we've got a name for it. That's it, simple as. So what we've got going on now is Sam stripping the engine down to get the head off, and we're sending the head off for a refresh. I've got a table laid out. The workshop is just like absolutely trashed everywhere, so I'm going to have a bit of a square up before I start working on the front end. Sam will strip that down, bench all laid out for him. Made him a nice little tray for all his oily bits. You like that, don't you? Yeah, you see, nice, nice.
See, I've just had a look down here and I've seen it's rotted out round here. It's good round all the other sides, so I'll just clean that back. I'm just going to make a plate for down there and a plate for that side because it's split. Can you see where it's split there? So then that'll hold it. It's all back into place now. Just got to sort out that leg where we pushed it bent down, but everything's back level where it should be. So it's a case of put that front end on and that'll hold it back now, and then get everything stripped out the engine bay, get it cleaned down. I might as well put some fresh paint on the engine bay as well. So yeah, happy days. It's getting there. Roof to do after. Roof will not be bad to do at all, he says, hopefully.
Right, Cling Sport that obviously help us out with the channel now. Their new 1.2 slitting disc. I am not kidding you. I just literally have used that of a new disc on this whole front end. I dare say I'm going to use some more on the roof
But for all the cutting that I've done on the front, and I'm still shocked, I've only used that disc. The 40 grit soft pad, that is the only one, and there's plenty of meat left on that. So thank you so much, Clean Sport. I'll put a link down to the website and all the bits. Because at the end of the day, if it wasn't for people like that supporting the channel, I would be begging on the street and having to sell myself for something. Well, I must say, for a couple of days' work, she's back lined up. We've just plonked some wings on. That was last season's wing. Then all we've got to tackle next is all the roof damage there, where it's come along the side of the car and rippled all the way down. A nice little dent there. Hello. Folded the mirror in, smashed the door, so the door smashed off there. Not a single dent or mark from the rear, at the rear. Then the smack down this side. So we've got the smack down that side, the damage down the door. Don't forget as well, we have an Instagram account page, link down below. We've got a turbo giveaway that we're doing with Max Peding rods, so go check that out because they're going to be working with us with some engine building projects we've got soon as well. So go check out our Instagram account where we put stuff on there daily. Also, we've got a Patreon account if you want to help out a bit more, a couple of quid a month, helps the channel going. Because I want this to be a full-time thing. I love doing this and building projects. I just want to build loads more projects to share with you guys and then end up giving them away for free to you lot. So I've been Colin. We've got some merch. We need you to help buy some merch because with the TT and the repair on this now, it's just knackered me up. So we'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. So yeah, oh, I think I'm dying. Right, so that wasn't COVID.